Hi, everyone. Tiffany Ann Taylor here, one of the co-chairs of DivCom that brought you this amazing conference. If you are still here, congratulations, you made it until the end. And it was, in fact, an incredible conference. If you had a chance to speak with me earlier in the networking or saw me hop in and out of different sessions, I was explaining that this is the first time I actually got to go, which I know sounds really strange, but when you're planning it, you don't usually get to attend. So I would say that I'm actually pretty proud. So if you've been to Hindsight before, as I mentioned, you'll know that I usually give the closing remarks while G gives the introduction as she did, or that they did yesterday morning. And I typically group thoughts together that have come to me while helping to plan the conference for the year. I think it's helpful to talk about what the conference has taught me about people, process, and my own growth in hopes that these are lessons you all find valuable too. So I'm going to group them into three categories, not in any particular order, but it's just the way that I really thought about them. And also, if you've been to Hindsight before, you know that there's a lot of tears. I think it's a release of what we're all carrying, and also just a release of all the good work that the team has done. So this year, I am prepared, and I have tissues, but bear with me. So the first item is gratitude. So thank you, Gloria Lau, Catherine Nguyen, Daphne Lundy, and G for their leadership, support, encouragement, and vulnerability. I did not ask the Crux team to bring them up on screen with me because I have a very ugly cry that's already starting and I need to hold it together. If you've been to Hindsight before, you should have no doubt that Catherine is probably already crying right now. Thank you to everyone in DivCom, with a special thanks to the core conference planning team. You will find all of these amazing people on page 18 of the program. Now, normally, if we were in an auditorium, well, not a virtual one, a real one, I would ask all of these amazing people to stand up and ask the audience for an applause. But this year, even if we could gather in person, no amount of applause would suffice. The reason why we keep reminding you all that we are a 100% volunteer team is because it is important. I want you to know more about the team because we are not superhuman. We are just like you. All of us have full-time jobs, other volunteer commitments, and personal priorities. We have been furloughed. We have had our immigration status challenged. We have protested. We have started families. We are growing families. We stood in long lines to vote. We have moved across the country. We have lost jobs. We have moved back in with our parents. We have lost loved ones to the pandemic, and we have gone to therapy. I share this with you because we are just like you. We have sacrificed, but we still prevail. And I want you all to think of this when you also remember your experience at Hindsight. There is no magic, just hard work, a sense of community, belief in each other, and a labor of love. I'm gonna make it, y'all, hang on. So the next bucket is, what has Planning Hindsight 2020 taught me? And I came up with a list of 10 things. So, number one, not everyone will like you when you have to lead, and that is okay. Sometimes the answer to a question is no, and no is a complete sentence, and both parties have to adjust to getting uncomfortable with that. Item number two, my career as a Black woman, capital B, and urban planner in government is both threatening and honorable. My mere existence as an urban planner is an act of resistance in a system not designed for me. But it is simultaneously an honor to serve people who may never get the opportunity to enter the rooms that I am firmly seated in. Number 3, change is necessary, and so is therapy. That's it. That's the message. Number 4, self-care can have different forms. Sometimes it's turning off all electronics. Sometimes it's a popsicle. And other times it's asking for help. Let's continue to normalize that. Number 5, Black joy really and truly is a form of resistance. Number 6, if there's no seat at a table, build your own. If you ever doubt that you can't, just remember that we have sold over 1,000 tickets in only 6 weeks during a global pandemic. We built a table that has room for all of you. Pull up a seat. Number 7, very pertinent. Raw emotion is okay. Tears on the job are okay. I'm actually going to repeat that. Raw emotion is okay. Tears on the job is okay. On days when I have cried over my work and wanted to quit, my mom reminded me that the tears likely mean that I am the right person for the job. Know your boundaries, but caring about something is also a superpower. Do not ever let anyone make you feel less than because you showed this emotion. Number 8, no idea is too small. It might be what the world needs. Besides, if it doesn't scare you just a little bit, should you even do it? Number 9, delayed does not mean denied. And number 10, we need more diversity in leadership. Who is this we that you might ask I'm talking about? The we is everyone in every possible space that you can think of. If you know me, you've heard me say this year that the only thing that the COVID-19 pandemic has taught me is what mediocrity in leadership looks like, from the highest office to the most local cause. How do we change that? We start to increase the options in the leadership pool. And for the last bucket of gems, I want to talk about DivCom transitions and leadership. So I want to leave you all with some important notes about DivCom. If you joined us yesterday or have been following DivCom on social media over the summer, then none of this will be a surprise to you, but I wanted to reflect upon it just in case. 3 members of the committee are moving on to executive leadership in the chapter. Sean Scott will be our new VP of Committees. Emily De Los Santos, who moderated our amazing keynote fireside chat yesterday, will be the chapter's New York City section representative. And I have been elected to chapter president. I am the first Black woman to ever serve in this position for the chapter, and now belong to a small but special club of other Black chapter presidents. I am incredibly honored to be elected. Unfortunately, this means that I will be stepping down as co-chair, and so will my amazing partner, G. We have served DivCom as leaders over the past 5 years. While 5 years is a long time in some aspects, it is also an incredibly short amount of time to lead this committee through the accomplishments that we have made together. The committee is nationally recognized for the work that we've all done together, and our departure only means that we are stepping down to create space for even more incredible work to come behind us. Trust that you will be left in good hands. I know that by now I likely have not made it this far without crying, but please clap for me anyway, because I need it. It has been an incredible honor to serve you as co-chair, and we can only go up from here. If you take away anything from my words today, let it be this: there are no rules. Have strong conviction in your beliefs and build your own table. And with that, this is really the end of the 4th annual Hindsight conference. On behalf of the entire APA New York Metro Chapter Diversity Committee, thank you so much for joining us. Session recordings will be available online. We'll have to figure out how that's going to work. You will be receiving a copy of the amazing graphic recording that was presented yesterday. And please join us in a few minutes on Zoom in celebration of our time spent together for happy hour and dance party hosted by DJ Tara. Thanks, and we'll see you next year.